Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the stock market update video. And finally, we have broken out of this range that we've been looking at for the bulls overall in the market today. And so we have a couple of things we'll be looking at, the datas as well as where is the market going to be heading into next week? And a lot of things going on today with this. It's been a super volatile week, and we finally broken out of range for QQQ at least. And let's take a look at a couple of things. So we'll be looking at the heat map right now. You see that we have a pretty green day, and the only thing that was slightly red was the energy sector. You can see oil has been still weak at the moment. So we had this job data in the morning. So it was a crazy morning, pretty much. We had a flush. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. So you can see right in the morning when the jobs data came out right here, we had a 1.5% drop in QQQ. And so because of the data came in at 336K versus 17K. So we pretty much doubled our non-farm payrolls. And so that just means that the economy is still really hot. And because why you guys are gonna ask, why would it drop if the economy is hot, right? Isn't that a good thing that we don't go into recession? The problem is that because of this number is so hot, and the market participants are fearing another rate hike. So the more rate hike we have, the more potential that something's going to break. So essentially, that is why we dropped 1.5%. And remember on Wednesday, when we had this ADP non-farm employment, 89K, which is half of what we're supposed to get. The opposite of what happened today, which is insane. It doesn't even make sense. But we had a bull move from this data. And the prior day to that, we had jolts coming in hot. And we had essentially a bear day because of that. And you can see all this flip flop from the jobs data this entire week. It's just a bunch of, it showed up in the charts pretty much on a daily. You can see all these flip flops. Down day, one day, up day, one day, down day, another day. And essentially today, despite this drop, we had an insane bull move. Even we had it coming at hot data. So that made a lot of market bears a little bit scratching their head because why did that happen? So we take a look at the probability of rate hikes. So essentially, I was looking at this this whole week, and you can see it's a rate hold probability. We've been looking at this for quite some time into next year's June of 12. But now we're actually seeing a rate cut in June of 12. So this actually shift to a rate hold back again when we got that jobs data, and it ended up shifting back to a rate cut. So market participant looks like they pretty much discarded the jobs data and don't think we're getting another hike, because you can see the probability of another hike is not there. You see it's 26%, 36%, 35%, 30%, 29, 19. So the chances of us getting another hike is not there at the moment. And as long as this continues to stay like this, and if let's say we get a cool CPI data, who knows, maybe we'll get a cut in May, right? This probably may shift over to here. But if let's say we get a hot CPI data, right? This may go up to 40%, 40%. We may get a hike if we get more data coming in that comes in hot, right? So it still depends on data. We have CPI data next week, and we'll see about that. So Fear and Greed Index was at extreme fear. And you guys know I was talking about it last week, where extreme fear can stay extreme fear for a while, but it will likely end up shifting into the medium. So if we're in the extreme fear or extreme greed, at some point it's going to go back to somewhere neutral, because everything always goes back to the medium at some time. It just depends what the time is. So that's why we don't try to nail bottoms or tops, because it can take time to grind in those areas. But we did have some technical shaping up that we were seeing a couple just from this week that I was telling you guys that if we do break above it, we're probably going to get a bull break. And that's essentially what we got today. And because I was talking about the sentiment data as well last week and this week of how bearish it is. And if everybody's on the same boat on one side, right, we don't want to be on that boat. So because once it shifts, it's going to be big momentum on the other side. So it's good to take some profits. We were shorting back this week because there were quite a bit of technicals showing us that probably won't get more follow through from the bears. Because I was telling you guys, If QQQ doesn't break Wednesday's low, SPY is going to be a daily bear flag without follow through. So that's pretty much what we got right there. This is daily bear flag right here, confirmed on Tuesday when we broke below that low, and no more follow through because that was the low, and essentially that's what we got. No follow through means we go back to the other side. There's no more follow from the bears. All right, let's get started from the technicals. We'll go from QQQ, S&P 500, Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta in order. So essentially QQQ bounced off pretty much every day. So regardless of every day we gap down, we came back up the next day. Gap down here, came back the next day. So you can see bulls are playing some serious defense down here. And essentially what we wanted to see, I remember yesterday saying that we need to break above the 12 EMA, which is this teal looking line that we have been rejecting from it. Rejection over here and rejection, very clear. 5 rejections from there. So 5 rejections from there versus 5 bounces from here. So it's pretty much a tiny range forming up for QQQ. And whoever breaks that range first is probably going to get more moves. Right when we opened today, market right down here, we were right at that trending support. Then just straight bounce off of that. It means that bulls are actually quite serious. You can see this pretty much the biggest volume in forever, other than this one right here, the FOMC meeting back here. I think this was the FOMC meeting, right? I don't remember what was it a Wednesday? Let's see. Friday. Let's see. Yeah, but whatever that was, it's biggest volume since that day. So it's been a while. And essentially there's a short squeeze plus bull volume coming in at the same time. Because what happens if you don't get follow through from one side, right? You get a nice bear break, both bear flag forming, lacking follow through, came back down, made a new lower high. That means this high is higher. Sorry, this low is higher than this low. There's a lower high being set. And I said that if we do break above Friday's high, we're confirming a daily uptrend. And that means SPY will not have a follow through. So essentially, bulls pretty much defended that higher low each day. So every day you can see we pretty much made a higher low or double bottom. So as long as bears cannot take it below previous day's low, then bears aren't really going anywhere anymore. And once we bounce on that, never look back, especially when we broke above the 12 EMA. See, in the morning, we actually struggled a little bit there. Let's see. 12 EMA today was at 1. Before it curled up, it was at 161 level. It's roughly over here in the morning. So like right here. So we had struggled a little bit. Try to get over that for maybe like half an hour. And once we got over that, we got more bull volume coming in. And essentially just a 5-minute EMA trending day on the 12 EMA. His teal looking line just trending up over those. No fake outs for bulls today. And then some people taking profits into the weekend. And so I also said that if we break 12 EMA, we're probably going to fill the gap. So we did. And we hit the next level of support here. So resistance. So what I want to see from bulls next week is some consolidation on the hourly. You can see this is just one straight move. So I want to see some consolidation, meaning the next candle is going to be lower than the prior one. So we don't have that yet today. That's how strong the move was. And I'll slightly pull back, chop around a little bit, and then confirm a early uptrend. So you can get that back. And this could be a bull flag as well if we just pull back a little bit, confirm it, hit higher. And R is in an uptrend. Actually, because this is lower, this one's lower than this one, so 4 hours not in an uptrend. There's one straight move, but the daily is an uptrend, so we want to get more daily follow through. Consolidate tomorrow, so not tomorrow, next week. Cool down a little bit and then hit higher. We'll see if we can get back above 67. So that'll be the level that I'll be looking at here. Have targets up here potentially. See this downtrending resistance here as well. Still quite a bit away, so huge. Actually 2.5% away. So We did that pretty much today, 3% from the bottom. Yeah, so next week I will be gone for the whole week. Actually, I'll be gone tomorrow for a cruise. I'll be in San Diego and San Francisco and close to Mexico as well for 7 days as well with a couple of friends and weddings and stuff. So yeah, so I'll probably won't see you guys Monday or Tuesday next week. I might try to squeeze a video in, but if not, you guys know where I'm at. And yeah, let's continue with this. All right. So yeah, I want to see hourly uptrend. SPY had a very clear support at this 421, 420 zone. And you can see it was structured of this zone. And really, I talked about where QQ doesn't get follow through on the downside, means SPY is going to have a bear flag lacking follow through. So lacking follow through means we're going to head the other direction. Actually, what we got, we bulls played defense again this morning at that quadruple bottom and head higher, led by tech. And it was starting to get a little bit obvious because XLF, which is the financial sector, XLV, healthcare sector, they were getting quite oversold. So when they start bouncing, it's going to help SPY as well. So they were already so oversold at the time that it's hard for it to get more downside on those sectors as well. So when Key pulls back together, plus every other sector now is joining because of their oversold bounces, this is essentially what we got overall. It's a strong move. Same thing for SPY. I want to see an hourly uptrend back to the bulls. And get some consolidation and then back to the bulls. But SPY is not in a daily uptrend yet. It's still a daily downtrend. Digital move, pivot, being set right there. Continue downtrend. This bounce still isn't above Friday's high yet for SPY. So still a daily downtrend. If it can get over above this Friday's high, it will go back to a neutral trend. This SPY made a lower low. So they need to form a new pivot. That's a higher low for it to go higher to form an uptrend. Now is a big enough bounce where SPY may potentially start shaping up those levels. So we'll see if we get one more leg up, break above Friday's high, and then start to consolidate and see if we can form that uptrend for SPY. Because you rarely get SPY oversold that often down here. You can see the RSI was oversold for SPY. Just scroll back and go back to even the 2022 crash. You don't get oversold that often. So yeah, that's why I didn't get so bearish at this bottom, because they're just, you can see the sentiment data was so bearish. Extreme fear. The AI sentiment data was also bearish, and market technicals were shaping up to be more bullish. So yeah, so we don't want to. It's it's easier to get into the market crash narrative and wanting to see market tank, but it's usually designed to go up overall in the long run. So we don't want to be shorting when everything is extreme fear zones. Who knows? We may get a black swan event, something breaks, market crashes, right? Nobody can predict that, but so we'll take it one day at a time for the markets. All right, Tesla. So Tesla's been looking relative weak today, but because of its price cuts, whatever, there's it cuts on 3 models. So I think that's what made it drop. But because QQ was so strong today, it pretty much helped Tesla to close even on its 0.81%, 0.18%. Yeah, so overall, QQ helped Tesla's chart look good. You see the trend is still intact, came up, back tested the 205 support, bounced off of that, and then higher. So essentially, people are probably going to forget about it over weekends and they just head higher. You just look at the good technicals, and because it's 252, has back tested it, now bounce off of it. And then most likely scenario it is we're going to test 263. So we'll see if that happens. And very clear resistance right there. And you see bounce off exactly from 252. And we'll see if QQ continues to be strong, then it'll definitely have SPY. So Nvidia also formed a daily uptrend, confirmed. Let's see right here. One move, pivot being set, broke above the prior high. So that's a daily uptrend confirmed. And now we are back above this structure. So now I want to see 450 act as support. And if we do come down to test it, and our next level resistance is going to be 460 around this zone. Right close to there. Yeah. 460s. Yep. The next one for me is going to be 460. And we'll see if they can get up that. Pretty much Nvidia closed at high of his day. So there's no signs of slowdown on today's move at all. And this after hours drop was from Microsoft saying they are going to make some AI chips. So Microsoft went up and Nvidia went down slightly, a little bit, because just news, competition, right? If Microsoft makes more chips, then maybe Nvidia won't be the sum as many. But it's not that big of a deal. That's why I only dropped slightly. It's probably a 1% drop and it bounced. Let's see. Yeah, 1.3%. Nvidia finally made its consolidation here. So that's one inch of move, no consolidation. So this candle is now below the prior candle. So if we break above today's high, the hourly uptrend continues. And daily uptrend is intact, so no signs of red flags. Nvidia. Yep, 0 red flags here on the chart. All right, let's take a look at Apple. So Apple just looks like a bear break, lacking follow through. After, you guys know what we're talking about over here, where this lower wick, as well as Apple is in a monthly, pretty much a monthly, just looking for a monthly lower high. So if you zoom out to the monthly chart, and you ask me, is Apple going to bounce around this area, cluster of support? Is this now acting as support? I'm probably going to say yes, because it's just forming a monthly lower high, sorry, higher low. And if Apple do bounces, and it could potentially head much, much higher, because this was pretty much a bear break, lacking follow through here. And now we're back up to this 177, so we're very likely going to test 180. So 180 is pretty much the key resistance for me for Apple's test, because we tried to get over that so many times over here. Rejected, which made this drop over here after rejecting from multiple times. So my guess is that we'll come up to 180. Apple pulls back a little slightly, which gives the QQQ that next leg up to roughly here, and then pull back a little bit for consolidations. Right, so we'll see if that happens for QQQ. If we pull back 180, yeah, consolidate a little bit here. Hourly chart, no signs of slowdown yet because it closed pretty much high of a day, and it's just one straight move. I'm just astonished how there was just no consolidation on the hourly today, and just straight up, literally nothing, no signs of slowdown for all the tech stocks today. Amazon, the weakest, but it held its triple bottom here, higher low. You guys know what I talked about yesterday. I want to see this low hold, because that low is higher than this low, gives Amazon a chance to form a daily uptrend if we do break Monday's high. So that's my next target. What I'm looking at for Amazon is to break above the teal looking line, the 12 EMA, and then break above this Monday's high at 130.47 for a daily uptrend to join clean bull, like Nvidia did already, and all the other bigger tech stocks did. So I want to see that happen for Amazon. Same thing, hourly bounce, no consolidation. So I want to see some consolidation on the hourly, form an hourly uptrend back to Amazon's favor for more upside to break above Monday's high. All right, let's take a look at Google. So Google, just every day, think higher low, higher low, higher low every day. You see, every day the low of the candle is higher than prior candle. So that just means that bulls are seriously taking this up. And I'm surprised because we haven't even have consolidation yet, and we just went from 127 support, which is this optimum support, strong support, and we went straight to 52 high resistance at 138. It's pretty astonishing. And so my guess is Google probably needs a little bit of consolidation happening soon. Um, Unless we just have another strong day in QQQ. Next thing you know, we make a 52-week new high because we are pretty much right at striking distance at this last level of resistance here, right? So we're not that far off. So we'll see if Google ends up breaking above that or not, because you can see we just pulled back slightly end of the day, ran out of time. That was it. And this is just a big bull flag. So we'll see if that happens. And if you break above this 138.16, the hourly uptrend will be back to the bulls. This big red candle just screwed everything up because it went below this pivot. So it went back from a hourly uptrend to a hourly neutral trend. And it's still an hourly neutral trend because we don't have a trend yet. Just one straight move. So if I want to see, break above that, today's high, then we'll get an hourly uptrend and we may potentially test this 52-week high. Yep. And we're back up above this zone. And then if we do break that 32 high, we'll come down to 140 because that is pretty much the last boss of resistance above this big structure here. Yeah, because that's the low of this 140 is the low of this whole structure here. Obviously, it doesn't mean we break 140. We're going to come all the way up here. Just that it's a very strong resistance around the zone. See the amount of cluster of volume traded here. We'll see when we get there, but at the now time we are still a bit of ways, so we'll see. Yeah, no signs of slowdown for bulls as long as we make a higher low every day. So Google bulls are happy. I'm just thinking. Let's see. We've got a new line here from the trend line, like around here. Yeah, I actually like this one a little better. I like this one better, like that. So this one was the shorter term one. And I can delete that. Yeah, so we have this resistance now. Okay, so we bounce off of it here. And it looks pretty much just like Google. Sorry, not Google. QQQ. You can see we made this low was higher than this prior low, right? So we had a higher low set. So that's a good sign. And all we had to do was break above Friday's high, and we have a daily uptrend confirm. So essentially, that's what happened. You can see it's very similar. We're just rejecting it from this teal-looking line, 12 EMA. And then once we get over that on Microsoft, you can see the amount of volume coming in, is ripping higher into straight pretty much into resistance close to 330. We didn't get to 330, but we're just shy under it. I would say we just ran out of time because you can see how we don't even get candles like this 4%. Maybe over here when we had news on AI marking the top. Yeah, that's the last time we had something this big. Yeah, so it's one of the most bullish days we had in a while since this 2 months drop that we had in the market overall. And essentially, we may get more follow through next week because of the amount of bull volumes today coming in, and everyone was leaning to the bearish side. So we may get more squeezes next week. So we'll see if Microsoft continues. So 330 is going to be the strongest zone that I'll be watching. So essentially, a lot of these big techs are under resistance on these trend line resistance as well. So if we have one more leg up, and then we can start to consolidate for the potential break of these resistance. But we need to maybe a little bit consolidation first because we just moved straight off the bottom right now. So we'll see, just like you did overall. So we'll see if they can do that. Same things in Google, very close to resistance. Apple, just under 180 as well. So we'll see if Microsoft continue. Same thing, straight move, zero consolidations. So I want to see some consolidation happening. We test those strong resistance levels. All right, finally bull break as well. Meta, we've been looking at this one for a while. And all these lines look really hard to read. So I'll draw it for you guys. Resistance. This one's the resistance line that I've been looking at for a while. So very clear. You can see the amount of times we've rejected over here. 2 times here, 2 times here, 5 times here. That's a very, very clear resistance. And we had support right here. See, bounce, 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 bounce. And then we had another support here, uptrending support. The amount of times we bounce out here is just insane how tight this tightening range is. Resistance, support. And we tighten up. And I said that we're probably going to break tomorrow or Monday because how tight this range is. You can see that we pretty much at the end of the pattern. And essentially we got a bull break. I said that we're gonna get break doesn't mean that I know we're gonna get a bull break. I just know that when we do break out of this range, which is super tight, then there's a play to be made, right? Right. Let's say this morning we break bear. I short it right here and we can follow through. Or we break bull, right? And I can go in long. I know it's gonna break. And it's gonna when it breaks, there's gonna be a lot of volume coming in. We get a big move. And I'm ready for it, but I don't know which way it's gonna break until it happens in the morning. So you can see once you do break above it, you see all this follow through. So see how many times we test this resistance, right? This maroon looking resistance line. We broke above it. It became a lead bull. Just 5.5%, right? From the bottom of the move. That is quite strong. So let's take a look at where we're looking at. Pretty much 318 is my next level of resistance. We pretty much just went from close to the bottom range to now close to the top of the range. So let's delete all this lines so we don't have to. This one we can still keep. This one, actually, this one we can still keep. So we have a megaphone here. Remember this one? We're looking at the megaphone, and our resistance will come into play. I don't think it's going to come into play anymore because of how big the megaphone. Once the megaphone gets too big, like this, all the way up here, it doesn't really work as resistance. But let's see, another 4% away. That's if we get there in one day. Get another more candles, couple of candles days, next week we'll be over here. Then it'll be like 7%. So it'll get negated, but we'll see what happens when we touch it just for fun. When this, if we hit this megaphone around these ranges, see if it rejects. That'll be interesting to see. But other than that, 318 is my next low resistance. And if we do break that, then obviously it's the 52 high resistance that we're going to try to break. We already rejected a couple of times around 325. Very clear resistance there. Because 325 is the low of this range over here. So probably like a strong resistance. And let's say we get another leg out like that. And then we consolidate, which would coincide pretty well with that QQQ scenario that I talked about earlier with you guys, where we get another leg up, potentially consolidate under resistance. And then we'll see if we can break. So if all these guys start breaking resistance above, right, then we may get a bull break on the market overall and get a little bit of rally. So we'll see if that happens to shape up or not. But SPY has a lot of work to do still. SPY hasn't even come from a daily uptrend. So this is the bear argue scenario where SPY is still weak. We still need QQQ to lead for SPY to shape up a better structure here for a daily uptrend to confirm overall. Give market participants more confidence overall that we can get more follow through from the bull side, potentially back up to this zone right here for a SPY. We still have a downtrend resistance line over here, so we'll see if we can come back to this zone or not. All right, that's all I got for you guys, and I will probably see you guys next weekend because of my trip, and I'll see if I can squeeze one in, but might be busy. So have a great rest of you guys' week, and good luck next week on you guys trading. And always follow the trend and set your stop losses, and so you don't get stop out. Sorry, not you don't get stop out. So you don't get your losses rolling on you. But yeah. All right. See you guys later.